everyone. Tonight I am going to a concert. I'm so excited about it. It is a Candlelight Concert. These have been getting more and more popular over the country. It's where there's like chamber music, either a string quartet or a pianist, and they play a concert, a themed concert, all with like these beautiful candles surrounding them in like small intimate venues. And of course, the one that I'm going to tonight is Taylor Swift themed. She's on my shirt. I'm so excited. If you don't know me, my name is Elizabeth. I run the blog lifefromtheviolasection.com, and I'm a classical musician. I teach private viola, violin, and piano lessons, and I make blogs and YouTube videos all about tech for musicians, practice advice, and just general music things. But I am first and foremost a huge Taylor Swift fan. So tonight I am seeing a string quartet perform Taylor Swift's greatest hits. I'm so excited about it. You could not come up with a more Elizabeth concert than that. So, hi, if you're new here. I hope you enjoy. It's a beautiful day, and I'm in the process of painting my nails, but I don't have a ton of time until I need to teach my first violin student of the day. So I'm thinking, since it's so beautiful outside, it's 65, it's partly cloudy, I guess. I think I'm going to take a walk, and first, let me show you what I'm planning to wear tonight. Because, of course, if it's Taylor Swift themed, I have to throw in Easter eggs. I have to use all of my materials. Everything that I have that is Taylor Swift related. Let's go look. Welcome to my closet. Here's the dress I'm planning to wear. I actually got this at Lidl. I've never bought clothes at Lidl before, but I picked it up because the pattern of the fabric reminded me of one of the ghosts in the Anti-Hero music video. I'll put in a little clip there. Also, I think it came with a stain on it. Anyway, and it kind of reminds me of the Getaway Car dress, the one in her lithograph where she's wearing a blue dress and there's like blue smoke and she's in the desert. Oh, that's so cool. And I'm going to wear my cardigan with it, of course. I do not have the official cardigan. I didn't buy it when it first came out, so I missed out. So what I did was I bought this fake one on, I think it was Yes Style. It was like $35 or something, and then I sewed my own star patches on it. So I've got my own unique cardigan. I'll be wearing those two together. Also back here in my closet is my Halloween costume. I recreated one of the looks from the Me music video. It was so much fun. For jewelry, I am definitely going to wear earrings that I own that Taylor Swift also has. They have these really beautiful hoops, gold with these really nice stars. They go great with the cardigan because of the stars, and they're just so fun. She wore these during the Folklore era, and then my partner got them for me for my birthday in, I think, 2020. Also right here is my confetti bowl. All of my confetti from the different eras. So I have a paper airplane from the 1989 tour. I have my wristbands from Speak Now and 1989. Oh, Speak Now and 1989. This is a feather from the Speak Now tour. And then I also have like Lover Hearts. And then of course Folklore, Evermore, Red TV, and Midnight. So, yeah. I will, of course, also be wearing my Speak Now necklace from Resin Rena, my friendship bracelet with all the era colors on it, official Taylor Swift merch. Maybe I'll put on a spritz of this just for fun. I hate wearing perfume. I hate smelling myself. This is my closet. And my last accessory will be my red ring from Resin Rena. Love this one. Do you want some makeup too? I'm so excited. What song do you want them to perform?
7 would be nice, even though there's no way.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know. Lavender Haze would be pretty cool.
Nice. Let's go. It's really windy. What'd you think?
It went too fast.
I know. It was so
That sounded great.
It was so good though. They did a great job.
They did. It's fantastic.
What was your favorite arrangement?
Probably Lover.
Mine was All Too Well.
Yeah, All Too Well. Wow, this thing was really good.
Yeah. It was the exact same one from Bridgerton.
Encore.
Yeah, it was so fun. So the concert was last night. We had so much fun and the musicians were really, really great as a quartet together. I'm a little bit confused about how the quartet situation works for Candlelight concerts. It's really confusing on their website. But the musicians I saw were great. They performed the music beautifully, and the violist was kind of talking in between most songs, kind of giving introductions and like Easter eggy ways of introducing them, kind of like Taylor Swift does. So that was really fun. It was great, like audience engagement and such. The worst part, or the only thing that I didn't really like about the concert literally was the audience. So the concert itself was great. The venue was beautiful. The candles everywhere was so nice. It was a great environment, great, really well put on concert and everything. But I don't know if it was one person or if it was a bunch of people in the same area, but they kept dropping their phones on the floor and it was so loud. And it happened like twice per song for the first like half of the concert. The concert was only 65 minutes long. It wasn't a super big thing, but it was a good list of Taylor Swift's greatest hits. So since her songs are short in a pop form, that's just how it goes. I did kind of wish that the concert would be longer, but it was great. And for the price, I thought that it was really nice. Yeah, so someone kept dropping their phone. It was really annoying. Before the concert started, they did have someone like introducing the string quartet, but they also went through like some audience etiquette things, which it kind of felt a little demeaning as someone who goes to a lot of classical music concerts and is a classical musician and knows what's expected and what is not okay. But it felt kind of like going on a ride at Disney World, like keep your hands and feet in the boat and hold on to your bag and everything. But I think that it's important after so many people stopped going to events with COVID and, events being shut down and everything. A lot of people have fallen out of the etiquette of being out in public and being respectful to performers and other people enjoying their own experience. So I think that it was good that etiquette was talked about at the beginning, but still things happened, like people dropping their phones and people talking and laughing sometimes. But I just focused on the string quartet and I had a great time. But I know this isn't the point of the video talking about audience etiquette in COVID world, but I think it was good that they said something. I was surprised at how many elderly people were at the concert. I know string quartets and chamber music usually do, and classical music in general usually draws an older crowd, at least right now and for the past however long I've been in music, it's been a thing that we've always talked about. But I'm surprised that for an event that was entirely Taylor Swift music, there were a lot of groups of old people there, and I think they knew the music. There was a group of old people in the row right in front of us, and it seemed like they were enjoying it. I guess, I don't know. they weren't complaining or anything, so I assume they must know Taylor Swift music. I know anyone can like any genre of music. It was just surprising to me, the number of just like the older demographic that I saw. But there were also lots of young people there. The entire row behind us was just young people, like a young couple about our age and just two women about my age. And they seemed like your average Taylor Swift fans, like that kind of demographic. But yeah, I was surprised at the kind of range of the crowd that this event drew. It was kind of interesting. I did notice a few little small mistakes that the musicians made, but I think that's because I know every Taylor Swift song forwards and backwards, and I'm also a classical musician, so I was listening really, really intently and, really watching closely, and I can tell when the vibe gets a little bit off between the players and things like that. So I don't think your average person would have noticed anything. So it was really, really nicely put together. It was a really, really beautiful evening, and I really enjoyed it. So I just want to talk through a couple things to know or just be aware of before you go to a Candlelight concert. This was my first experience with this program, and it was really good. But just if you have some questions, I'm going to go kind of over their frequently asked questions portion. So the venue that I went to was the Balling Haxel House. It's in Richmond in the city. It was a beautiful kind of like mansion. I think it was built in the 1800s, and it was such a nice venue for this. I think that a lot of the venues for these Candlelight concerts are like churches and old mansions, like historical buildings, and you get that really beautiful, like tall ceiling, fancy, old-fashioned vibe with all of the candles everywhere. It's really, really nice, and I feel like they probably choose those venues to create a full experience with the candles and the type of music and everything. So for my concert, there were 3 zones that you could buy tickets for, and I think that it's like that for many of their concerts. Zone A is the most expensive, then Zone B, then Zone C. And for this one, there was just a $10 price difference in between each zone. We chose Zone B, the one right in the middle, and we got there about a half hour early, and we got like the front row of Zone B, and I was on the end of the row. My view was absolutely perfect. I had like a totally unobstructed view, and I felt like it was just a perfect spot. So I'm super happy with the Zone B seats. We also got a discount too, because we had previously gone to the Harry Potter Forbidden Forest experience, which was also run through Fever. So I guess whenever you buy tickets through them, they give you a discount on your next ticket. So I got maybe like $10 off or so. Maybe it was like $8. I can't quite remember. I was close enough that I could see what position the first violin was playing in, and same with the violist. The second violin was covered a little bit by her stand, so I couldn't quite see her hand quite as well, but I could tell like when she had the melody, and it was so fun being able to just watch the quartet pass everything around the whole time, and I was close enough to really, really get all of that. And of course, I'm watching closely for those things because I am a classical musician, and those things interest me, and just seeing how other people arrange music is interesting for me too, because I do arrange some Taylor Swift music and just other pop music and movie music and stuff like that for my duo, Ottava Bassa duo, and it was interesting to see these other arrangements. We had wished that it had been a little bit longer, but we're experienced classical music concert goers, so I think we usually have a little bit of a longer attention span than most typical concert goers, especially if you're more interested in pop music and not so much classical music, and this is one of your kind of first introductions to a classical music concert, then 65 minutes is probably a really good length. And of course, Taylor Swift songs, since they're a pop form, most of them are like 3 to 5 minutes long. So it's much smaller scale stuff than a typical quartet concert where you're playing big pieces that can be anywhere from like 20 to 40 minutes long. So they did play a good number of greatest hits. They didn't play anything off of her debut album, Rep or Evermore, but I think that it was a really, really great kind of summary of the greatest hits. I took a look at Candlelight concerts in a couple different cities just to get an idea of kind of the trends and how things work in other places, it looks like they choose venues that are kind of like historical buildings or old churches, basically things with really nice architecture, high ceilings. And I think that that really adds to the vibe of the candlelit experience. Because, you've got these beautiful high ceilings, which give great acoustics to mostly any instrument, especially string instruments and piano. But it makes for like a great, really aesthetic, beautiful night out too, with the candles and all the beautiful just architecture around you. So the one that we went to in Richmond was in the Balling Haxel House, which neither of us had ever been to. I think it was a mansion that was built in the 1800s. It was really, really beautiful on the outside and on the inside, lots of like gold and just intricate little details. And it was beautiful with all of the candles in there, nice and dark. And, a string quartet in a space like that is always just so magical. So I feel like they choose venues that really fit into kind of the vibe that they're trying to make for this experience, which is very nice and very well curated. So at all of the events that I looked at on their website in a couple different cities and a couple different like concert programs, it looks like they don't serve any food or drinks at their concerts, probably because they're in these nice historic venues and it makes things messy. No food or drink was allowed inside the venue, which is totally normal for classical music concerts. I did see someone with a water bottle nearby us, but whatever. So no food or drink was served and no food or drink was permitted. They did have bathrooms, which I'm sure is a legal thing that they have to have, but if you're wondering, they did have bathrooms. I did not use the bathrooms, so I can't attest to it, but they're in these beautiful spaces, so I'm sure they're nice bathrooms. So let's talk about pictures and videos, because everyone wants to share what they're doing on social media. So we were told many, many times when we got there, when we got to our seats, and right as the concert started, that we couldn't take any pictures or videos during the performance until the performers told us, like, okay, we're on the last song, you can take pictures, videos, sing, dance, have fun, just go crazy. So we were allowed to take videos and pictures before the performance came on stage, and after also we got a couple pictures like with the stage behind us too, but nothing until the very end. So everyone was nice and quiet, pretty well behaved except for the phone's falling on the floor during the concert. And then for the last two songs, they told us you can take pictures, videos, just no flash photography because it'll blind us and that makes it hard to play. And of course, there were so many flashes through the last two songs and I had a lot of secondhand embarrassment. If a musician tells you, please no flash photography, or if you're in a museum or something too, really just double check that your flash is fully turned off and then go ahead. There were so many flashes and it was rough. I felt really bad for the musicians. So I don't want to say disappointed, but after the rest of the concert, which I loved so much, the last two songs were I Knew You Were Trouble and You Belong With Me. I love You Belong With Me. It was one of my first favorite Taylor Swift songs, but I'm not a huge fan of I Knew You Were Trouble. So it was like after that amazing run of songs that I really, really love, I Knew You Were Trouble wasn't quite as exciting, but I was like, whatever, I'll take videos and pictures during this one since I'm not quite so invested in it. And that was fine. The audience was just singing along, which is totally fine. They said you could do that, but lots of people were doing the screaming goat thing during I Knew You Were Trouble, and that was hard to sit through. But yeah, You Belong With Me was really, really fun, and I loved listening to that one and seeing them perform it. I feel like there's one thing that I wanted to say. Oh, my favorite run of songs in the program, if you want no spoilers about what songs they do in the program, just click away now. You've seen basically the entirety of my review. I'm just going to talk about my favorite arrangements from here on out. I loved the run of All Too Well, Wildest Dreams, and Lover. It was so well done. Those are three of my favorite Taylor Swift songs anyway, and they worked so well for string quartet. What I loved about All Too Well, first of all, it was just listed as All Too Well in the program, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be the original or the 10-minute version. They ended up making kind of like a 7-minute version where it was, it included an extra verse from the 10-minute version, but it didn't have the like second bridge and outro part. but it was really nice. What I loved about it was the arranger took some liberties and added like more fleshed out harmonies and just kind of background things to the arrangement so that it felt very much like a string quartet with the All Too Well melody, whereas a lot of the other arrangements, I loved them. They were very true to the song. So it was like melody was being passed around and everyone else had just background parts like drumming beats and chords, but exactly like how it is in the music, which was really, really good and I loved it. But All Too Well was different in that it was just more intricate and there were more layers to it, and I really, really enjoyed that. And then Wildest Dreams was the exact arrangement that was used in Bridgerton. So it was arranged by, I think, like the Brooklyn Duo or something. But I actually have the score for that because I bought it on like Sheet Music Plus or whatever back in the spring. So I knew like exactly what was happening in the whole string quartet because I played every part on my own instruments. So that was really fun to see that particular arrangement live because it's so good and it was so beautiful and magical. And then Lover was amazingly done for a string quartet. I loved everything about it, and then like the last chord was so beautiful. Yeah, so those are my favorite songs. Another spoiler, they did do an encore after we clapped for them and they bowed. They played Shake It Off, and like I was thinking, oh, that's weird, they don't have Shake It Off on the program. And then of course they ended up doing an encore and it was Shake It Off. It was really cool because it started very slow and very just thin, like just the melody. And then by the time they got to the chorus, it sped up and it was like super, super full and it was so exciting. I wish I had gotten a video of that one, but I was just having a lot of fun in the moment, so I didn't get anything of that. So overall, I had a great time and I think that it was a great value for the experience that was there. I do wish it had been a little bit longer, but that's me. I have the patience of a classical musician, so I'm used to very long concerts and that's just the me thing. But overall, it was beautifully put together and really, really professionally done, and I'd love to go to another one in the future. If you enjoyed seeing my day and my review of this concert, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. My content is mostly for classical musicians, but if you like it here, please stay and subscribe. I post new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Time. Thanks for watching.